From winning the NFL MVP award in just his first year as a starter to driving his team to the Super Bowl 57, here's how Patrick Mahomes has had a massive impact on the Chiefs. Starting with the recent win over the Eagles. You guys absolutely have to understand how insane Mahomes' play was. I honestly think there were probably a lot of TVs being used as punching bags in the Kansas City area that day. After a bad first half of this game, the Chiefs were behind the Eagles 24-14, and only a rare mistake from Jalen Hurts kept him in the game. And that's where Mahomes came in to save the day. Keep in mind, this guy already had a high ankle sprain, and it looked like his injury got worse on Kansas City's last offensive play of the half. But our talented player, combined with a more complete Philadelphia lineup, not only outcoached, but also outmuscled and outplayed Andy Reid's team.
Veteran players and mixed with young players, and I mean, they're one of the I don't know if they're number one, but they're one of the top defenses in the league for a reason. And they get after the quarterback, so it'll be a great challenge for us to go out there and try to have some success.
After 30 minutes of football, the Chiefs were crowned champion for the second time in Patrick's career. They almost played a perfect half of the offense, scoring 3 touchdowns and passing up a chance for a fourth. Hey, even Ed Werder of ESPN pointed out on Twitter that after Rihanna's halftime show, they became an unstoppable force. I guess Rihanna's performance gave them that boost, am I right? Just kidding. But there's no doubt that the real reason why the Chiefs have been doing well is because of one very specific player, and we all know that's Mahomes. And that's because of the experience and growth he's brought for so long. I mean, let's just take Super Bowl 57, for example. The Kansas City Chiefs played the Philadelphia Eagles because they're a talented team that knows how to win.
My dad and mom, neither one were disappointed. They always told me, whatever I do, just be the best you can and do the best you can at it. And so whenever I was choosing football and baseball, which one I was going with, they told me to make my decision and run with it.
They also were here because their star quarterback has grown a lot over the last few years. Even Mahomes himself admits he's come a long way. According to him, when you've been in some big games for a few years in a row, you've learned from your mistakes. This is interesting considering that he said this after his win over the Bengals. He said he felt like the year before he let one mistake kind of compound into 2, 3, and so on. Instead of thinking he'd made a huge mistake and just mulling over it, he should have just said, okay, let's just do better next time.
We prepare ourselves every year from training camp in St. Joe's, Missouri to be here, but it takes a day-by-day process, and I think the coaches preach that, the players do that, and the organization around us supports us in that mission.
It's only when he started thinking like this was when he could finally give his team his all. And it so happens that the team genuinely started doing well. Hey, I wish motivational quotes like those worked on me like that too, man. Even considering his mistakes he's made in the past, though, Patrick has been nothing short of an MVP ever since he came into the game. Not gonna like, Mahomes is so skilled that it's easy to forget how much he's grown up. After all, he was only 23 years old when he won the NFL MVP award in his first year as a starter in 2018, and then he won the Super Bowl in his second year as quarterback.
100%. She's killed me with the workouts, especially at the beginning. Here, let me show you how I've been working out. The amount of reps, is unreal. I have to stop doing all the reps sometimes. Resistance bands, kettlebells.
Not to mention, he famously said on the HBO show The Shop that he didn't really understand how defenses worked until about halfway through the 2019 season. He even went through a frustrating time in 2021 when he threw 10 interceptions in his first 10 games and kept trying to make big plays. This Mahomes is not the same one we see now. He just got his second MVP award at age 27 because his game has gotten that good. Last offseason, he traded away Tyreek Hill, who was the most exciting receiver in football. He spent most of this year getting used to a group of mostly unknown talents and was still able to bring some form of uniformity to the team. Okay, now for the statistical part. Mahomes led the league in passing yards and touchdowns at the end of the season. This is clear proof that the next part of his career could be even more impressive than the first. When you hear about all this, I'm pretty sure the first thing you're asking yourself is, how does this dude even function during training? He is a super disciplined player who's just that into the game? Well, the answer is yeah, and he has always been giving his A game. Before Kansas City's divisional round playoff win over Jacksonville, Matt Nagy, the quarterback's coach, gave an insider on how Mahomes actually is. He said that ever since the first day, he noticed how Mahomes would concentrate on his game with incredible determination. I mean, this wasn't just any type of getting into the zone. This man meant business every time he came onto the field to play. play. The coach said when Patrick saw the other team on the field playing against him, it was like he couldn't see anyone else. In fact, this season has been full of times when Mahomes has shown how well he understands the game he loves to play.
Of a lot of wins, a lot of, whether it's the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, that Super Bowl MVP, 4 Pro Bowls, etc., a lot of wins. When you walk into that room for the first time and you see him in a meeting room and he's sitting there.
You can look at the Chiefs' Week 2 win over the Los Angeles Chargers on Thursday Night Football, and he was just as magical in Week 14 when Kansas City beat Denver. In that game, he scrambled towards the sideline to extend a pass play, saw a Broncos defender coming at him, and then threw the ball underhand to running back Jerick McKinnon, who, by the way, ran 56 yards for a touchdown without being touched. That was kind of jaw-dropping play that high-level NBA point guards often make on fast breaks. When you have a player like this on your team, I wouldn't be surprised if even his own team was scared of him. If you're surprised at how well he plays normally, wait till you see how he brings the same kick-ass energy even when he's injured. We all know how an important player's injury during a game can highly affect the entire game's play, and it's never good. When it comes to Patrick, he has been in pretty rough situations too. Late in the first quarter of that playoff game against Jacksonville, he hurt his right ankle. Since he talked his way back onto the field at that point, though, he's been tearing defenses apart from the pocket. Mahomes threw for 326 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bengals, even though he lost 3 of his best receivers during the game. Since 2012, Mahomes has been doing amazing things. Now, though, he does them in subtle ways that still make a big difference in the game.
I definitely didn't feel good. I think the worst one was when I fumbled. I tried to pick it up, and that was probably the worst tweak that I had during the game. But like I said, they got me close as they could to 100%, and then I just battled through, and I'll have a few more weeks to get it ready.
Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, was asked before the AFC Championship game why Mahomes played so well with an injured ankle, and his answer was simply that Patrick was a competitive person. He's a player who likes to win, and it's because he has the guts to do it. He just can't accept that he won't be putting himself out there for his teammates.
Well, first of all, we have a very experienced coaching staff that's done an outstanding job of working with these guys. And the unknown is the unknown. So the thing that I always tell our guys is, ideally, we would love to be perfect in everything that we do.
And honestly, isn't that what we all love about him? It's definitely that, but there's something more too. His ability to be humble and accept his mistakes is what makes him a star in our eyes and for his team. When asked what he was doing this season to get closer to his receivers, Mahomes said he thought it changed him in the sense that there are a lot of different types of people, and that you have to find different ways to keep guys interested in the culture and how they do things there, as well as the bigger picture. So according to him, that was the biggest thing he had to learn to become a better leader for everyone.
I want to go in the locker room in the second quarter. What happened there?
Yeah, I did not want to go, and they kind of gave me the ultimatum of I wasn't going back in unless I went in there. So they're trying to take care of me. We got a lot of great people over here, but it's going to take a lot to keep me out of a football game.
That's all for how Patrick Mahomes has had a massive impact on the Chiefs. Hope you had fun. See you in the next one.